Welcome to SML Total Access, the official podcast of the Sim Madden League. Now, here are your hosts, ZZ the Great and Primetime 000.
Hello and welcome to the SML podcast. This is SML Total Access, the flagship podcast on the SML network. And with me, as always, is my trusted co-host, ZZ the Great. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Prime? What's happening, brother? What's going on, SML? Playoff time, baby. Big Super Bowl just happened.
Yes, sir. The Patriots won the Super Bowl. But before we get into that, I want to just hit on a quick thing here in the SML. And that is Total Access. We're doing things different. A little bit quicker show than usual. And that's going to be the new standard. The new setup's going to be 4 downs. 4 downs is one topic each down. We're going to try to get through each topic in about 3 minutes. And then we're going to have a 5th down, which is, guess what? The extra point. It's going to be lit. It's going to be fire. So we want to get a few topics out there, but we don't want to linger on those topics. That's the plan. Let's see if we can stick to it today. But hey, first topic is going to be first down, and that is about the New England Patriots. They're the Super Bowl champions. Do you have a chance to watch the game, and what do you think about QB Stud getting it done?
Hey, I watched the whole game. I thought QB performed. I mean, he had an excellent performance. Sunday was good, but it seemed like he might have been thrown off a little bit by QB. I think QB came out there and he might have known a few things about what Sunday was going to do ahead of time. And when he shut that down, maybe Sunday got a little flustered. It was a couple big plays in that Super Bowl that kind of turned that Super Bowl, but overall, QB Stud pretty much just outplayed Sunday, man.
Mm-hmm. QB played a very good game. Sunday did as well. He made some uncharacteristic mistakes, I think. He's hyped up as a good passer. He had to force a lot of passes, especially late. He seemed to have the game in the palm of his hands, and he threw a pick down in the red zone that was returned for a touchdown. And then there was a lot made of the 4th down and 20. Did you get a chance to see that? It was should you punt it? Should you go for it on 4th and 20? Did you see that moment later?
Yeah. I saw it at the end. It was like 4th and 18 or whatnot. Oh, yeah, it was probably like 21. But yeah, he at that point you punt the ball. I mean, you got all your timeouts. It's I think it was 1:53 left on the clock. You definitely punt that ball. You get it back. You try to hold him down and make him punt, so you can get the ball back with some time on the clock. Because if you don't get that 4th down, what happened was you end up right there in field goal range. He's comfortable. He's able to run the ball, get the first down, game over.
Yeah, I slightly disagree with you because I feel like even if you didn't get it, if he makes the kick, you're still only down by 8 points. And you have an opportunity to get the ball on the 4th down. But I see your point of saying he might be a little more uncomfortable and he might throw the ball or something like that. So it was interesting. I see why Sunday did it. He's trying to be aggressive. It's a Super Bowl. You leave nothing out on the you leave everything out on the field, basically. But let's go ahead. We're 3 minutes in. So guess what time it is? It is second down on SML. Second down. And let's reflect on the playoffs a little bit. Did you see any crazy games or anything that was a shocker to you?
It was a great playoffs. I mean, considering Future got over the hump this year. I mean, he made it to the conference championship. The game with Meats, who did Meats lose to?
QB Stud.
QB Stud, yeah, that QB Stud and Meats, that divisional round playoff game. That was also a great game. It was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of surprises. I think once QB got over that hump and beat Meats, and then backdoored it and beat you, I think that propelled him into the Super Bowl with that muster and if you might that he needed to get past Sunday. And then
go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say Future did a great job against Sunday with a backup quarterback, and then he had a leading pass rusher that was out for the playoffs that got hurt in a sim. And then you have some other just really close games throughout the playoffs. Obviously, Meats, he tried icing the kicker. It didn't work for whatever reason, which is unfortunate. Meats, once again, an early playoff exit for him. Grams got beat by NYT.
That was what I was going to bring up.
That was impressive.
Hey, NFC South, man. Big ups, NFC South. I see y'all out there. I hate you, Mike. But Nah, I don't hate anybody in this league, Mike. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
But just NYT, man, I thought his performance this year was freaking, was just great. I mean, because I've been playing NYT every year, and I know he's a good player. And to see him break out of the South the way he did and get out there in the playoffs and make a little noise in the playoffs by beating Grams, I mean, that was big. This man almost got to a conference championship if he could have got past Sunday. I think Sunday put a pretty good whipping on him. But
Yeah.
But other than that, man, big shout out NYT in the playoffs doing big things.
Yeah, and just real quick, I want to state I played QB. Obviously, he beat me. That was, I think, a lot of people probably looked at that as an upset. QB, sometimes it's just a play or two here and there that make the difference. I feel like I had the game plan I wanted to beat him. I got a quick stop on him. And if you go back and watch the game, I got sacked for a fumble my first drive inside his field position. And I had Paris Campbell open for a touchdown. I didn't get the protection. His sack fumble, 14-point swing, and look, he's Super Bowl champion. And sometimes that's all it takes. QB, once again, congrats. But hey, we're already on, guess what? Third down in the SML Total Access. And that is, hey, look, we're looking forward to season 31. Do you have anybody you kind of have your eye on? I talked about Grams a lot, and he's kind of hasn't really done too much for me. I feel bad because maybe I put the announcer's curse on him. Do you have anybody you're looking forward to seeing?
Seeing in the season. Oh yeah, you're talking about playing?
Just more of any team you got your eyes on to possibly.
Oh, okay, a team I got my eyes on for next year. Yeah, there's a few teams, man, that's trying to make noise towards the end here. I mean, it's a lot of the guys that's in the back, because if we looked at the SML, I would say like 2 seasons ago or a season ago even, the SML was a different landscape. But now things are starting to change. It's these new guys from the primer moving in. And by the way, the last 2 Super Bowls were won by primer guys. So the landscape is changing for the SML. And so, I mean, and just a quick shout out to all the SML guys, all the elite guys, man. You guys got to step up and we got to get into the game. And the SML has to bring home a championship, because right now, man, it's like primer league right now. These guys are getting us. So a lot of these, I mean, like the Bills, Conk, some of the newer guys, maybe Rowan Cool or something. A lot of these primer guys, these newer guys, they're getting allocated to the league, and I mean, things could be changing.
There's somebody I wanted to know, kind of looking into next year actually, and that's Haas, man. Look, he is, I feel like, a person who could be very dangerous. He was strong last season before his illness, and I think he just posted a picture of one of his guys getting lurker or something. And Haas has been kind of waiting in the wings. I know this cycle's been a rough one for him, but that's a guy who is scary anytime, and it just adds another team to the AFC, which is very stacked. It's definitely going to be interesting to see who can pull this thing off.
Yeah.
Next, do you real quick then look into the next season? Do you think the Patriots can repeat?
Next season, do the Patriots repeat? I don't know about that. I'm gonna say no, and that's not me being a hater or whatnot. I can have an opinion, but he's no, I don't think he's gonna repeat next season, because the competition, like you said, man, you got Haas. I mean, Oshie's never won one. I mean, with Future and Graham's never winning one. I mean, it's a lot of guys that haven't won too, and they're trying to get up there. So seeing him doing this again, I'd have to see more from that Patriots squad.
Yeah,
I don't know if I know him well enough to make that assessment, but from where I sit, I don't think so.
I agree. He's a great player. I mean, look, he just won the Super Bowl. A lot of guys in the SML who've been here for way longer can't say that. And a play here or a play there, he might have had a divisional round exit if that ice goes through or not. So, and we could be having a whole nother conversation right now.
True.
So, look, he made the plays he needed to make, but also he it's not like he dominated his way through to where I can say like Sunday did. Look, Sunday dominated his way through. season one, and it was like, okay, like maybe Paulie's onto something. So I don't know. I mean, he's a great player. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds. So we're already at fourth down, and the topic is fourth down here, big down here, and we're going to talk about the evaluations. Everybody likes to talk about their score. You have anything to say about that?
Well, the evaluations. Okay, guys, it's like this, right? Look, we do evaluations every year. Sometimes it changes. Sometimes we might throw in an extra category, one or two, and because the evaluations are evolving as the season goes. So if you guys, for instance, let's take the chat conduct thing. I mean, we're gauging you guys on how active you are, and then we also gauging you on how much how much drama or how much negative interactions you might have in chat or whatnot. I mean, a guy can be as active as hell and be in there every day, but if you're just being active and you're not contributing to the overall mood of the chat, then we have to dock you guys points for that. And I know it's a lot of guys hitting me up asking me, hey man, you only gave me 8 out of 10, and very few people got 10 out of 10. I mean, I had 2 different categories to score. Very few people got 10 out of 10. So if you are looking at your evaluation score like, oh, I only got this out of that, you got to take into account. I mean, look at what you're actually doing compared to what somebody else is doing in the league, and see how that scale, reflects how your score ended up being,
Right. I agree 100%. And what I did was when we revamped the evaluation scores last season, I added in offensive sim to defensive sim because I wanted to make a point to make sim play more valuable on the rating scale, right? So that means you have 2 scores. You have offensive sim, you have defensive sim. And then look, the next thing we did was add chat. We wanted to make it to where, look, what's the most important thing in a Madden League to us? Sim play, number 1. We want you to play sim. Number 2, we want you to be active in chat and make it not just active, but a good community, a happy community, a good mood community, right? So that's 1 and 2, and then we threw in the content, Twitter and stuff like that. Yes. So it's not like we value content more than activity and chat or mood in chat. We try to make it to where sim first and then everything else after that. That's why we have 2 different sim scores. And look, people can play sim on offense and not on defense. And I think that when you start bringing in an eval system, it might make somebody get better or be more sim because they didn't even realize it and nobody said that they should change something. Right. And they're going to be, oh, why was I a 3? And it's like, oh, well, I had to complain about this. It's like, oh, man, I didn't even know about that. Like, okay, I'll fix that. Right. I want to be a better team next Madden. And I didn't even know about that. I'll be a better member. That's why we do it. Yeah, we could do the random draw, but it rewards the guys who do it the right way. And that's the whole goal of the process.
And that's how it should be. I mean, constructive criticism is just that. Man, try to figure out what you're doing wrong. If you can't look at yourself and see what you're doing wrong, I look at myself. ZZ hasn't been as active as he always has been, and I can give myself a 3 because I'm not that I'm not as active. But if anybody thinks that they're more active than Prime tags every day. He does more for this league than anybody ever done, and just a little while ago, I was the same exact way or meets or what he does for the league. I mean, you have to bundle all that stuff in. So if Prime got a 5 out of 5 on activity and his attitude, I think that's deserving of Prime. And if another guy, if I got a 3 in my activity, then that's what I deserve. I'm able to do that. I'm able to look at myself and see, hey, man, I haven't been that active. And if you're being that guy that's constantly into it with somebody else or going back and forth, then I mean, it is what it is. You have to look at yourself. You have to take a step back and look at your actual performance in chat.
Yep. So
that's all we're doing.
Yes, sir.
We just want you guys to get that.
Yes, sir. Now we got a touchdown on 4th down apparently, and we're gonna go kick the extra point.
Extra point.
I've heard this in chat from Paulie, and he likes to stir the pot. Paulie is Hey, I'll say this, bro. He reminds me a lot of me with marketing because he likes to stir the pot and it works. It genuinely works. Now, before we get any further, the question is, when do Madden players start to decline? The narrative of me declining is not true. I've won 3 of the last 6 this cycle, so I'm already at my hit streak of 3 or 4 championships in one cycle. Yes. But that did kind of pop in my head, like, when do guys start to decline? I hit up Meats in chat and I said, hey, maybe your window might be closing if you get this apartment. And he's like, what does real life have to do with your Madden career? Yeah. What do you think about declining? Is it an age thing, or couldn't this?
No, it's definitely not an age thing, because look at Grams. I mean, shit, fucking Grams is at. I mean, he has everything that I got, and more. he has a mortgage. He has a full-time job. He has kids. Well, no, I don't know if he has kids or not. But he has all this stuff going on. There's a lot of guys in our league that have full-time jobs, parent, do the whole works, man, and have all these bills and the same stress and all this stuff, and they still play Madden. Some of them are even great at it. So I don't think that's I don't think you can gauge any user in this league and say when they're going to decline, because that would just have to be their uninterest in Madden.
Yeah.
Period. They'd have to get distracted away from Madden. And at one point, I remember when you had in what they call the dark ages of SML, when you went on your hiatus or whatnot, and you went and did your thing. But I think at any time you could always come back and be who you are. I don't think age has anything to do with it.
I definitely think it's a passion or interest thing. There are times when you're a commissioner, like you said, last Madden for me, it was like, dude, I'm just burnt out. Like, the last thing I want to do is hop on and just handle this crap. And it just burns you out. And then you load in the game and you're going through the motions. And I think that definitely attributes to it. And then at some point, maybe you're just playing it because it's just a game, and you've got guys who, so you could have 2 categories: a guy who's in his 30s just trying to get a de-stressor from work, right? Somebody who's like, okay, I'm just playing this game because it's fun. I like some of the guys in chat. They're my friends. Something to do.
Yes.
And then you have the other category where you have guys taking notes. You have guys studying tape. You got guys watching every game. Neither is wrong, but that's sometimes the difference in why you have some guys winning the Super Bowl and why you have some guys that don't, and that's just what it is, I think. But I do think life events can sometimes come in, getting a house, taking on new responsibilities can take away from Madden as well, more than just passion or interest. Obviously having kids, stuff like that. I mean, there are so many different things in your life that could probably affect it, but I wouldn't say age is necessarily one of them.
No. I definitely don't think age has anything. It's all about your interest in the game. I mean, you can say, hey, is Prime getting disinterested in Madden, and will he decline? But as far as Prime growing up and turning 35, I think he'll still be as good at Madden. Because if he decides to put the work in, because it really has nothing to do with it. I mean, look at these kids on freaking Call of Duty. I wouldn't be over my ratio that I'm at if it all depended on reflexes and all that stuff. Exactly. So you can always outthink somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't think it ever has anything to do with it.
That I agree 100%. So hey, we're at 18 minutes. We're 3 minutes over, but I think we did a good job today of
we cut it down.
What we aimed for here. We cut out the BS on Total Access. Let us know what you thought about the new structure. Once again, congrats to QB Stud, our season 30 champion, the New England Patriots. I'll let you sign us off.
Congratulations, QB, you did it. Yeah, QB, man, you did it, bro. Good job, man. You won the championship. You can put that trophy next to your name in the chat. And you know how much I wish I could do that. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm a little bit envious, whatever. But congratulations, my brother. Sunday, man, another great job. You came in, you did what you came to do, but it just didn't work out for you this year. I like how you took your loss. You didn't complain. You didn't make anything.
Respect.
No big controversy at the end. You just said he got outplayed. So that was great. It was good to see that.
It is easy to be humble when you lose. I mean, when you win. But it's a whole nother story when you lose. You've won like a champion when you've been in the SML, which I respect a lot. Not a lot of people win like champions. And now you've lost like a champion. And I believe you will win again Sunday. Once again, QB, hats off to you. Sunday, hats off to you. If anybody has anything to say about what anybody like Sunday did, or anybody made the conference championship or divisional, take a minute, pause. Where were you at? You were watching from home. These guys are legitimate players. Congrats to both teams of their excellent seasons. That was SML Total Access. Thanks for listening.